Hello everyone, this is Metroid Nerd number 9001, and today we're here for a rather unique video. Over the past couple years or so, since I've been playing Civilization VI, I've been working on trying to get every achievement in the game, because I guess I'm a completionist like that, and I'm about to get the last one. So I kinda just wanted to put it up for posterity, I guess, and just because it's kinda fun. So there's 307 achievements in the game, and I have 306. Some of these are you basically get them from playing the game or beating the game in certain civs, but some of them are a lot more specific. So to get some of these, you kind of have to just set up a scenario that makes it really easy to get the achievement, unless you really just want to play the game so much and just have all of these things just kind of happen to you by happenstance. But some of these achievements are just extremely specific, such as as Hungary have Christianity as your dominant religion and defeat a unit whose civilization's dominant religion is not Christianity. Some of these are just super specific because they're like references to history or references to pop culture. But then some of these are actually really difficult, like win war machine without training any units. It's usually the scenario ones that are the most difficult. By far the most difficult one is something that I've actually made a video about, is the You're the Demonstrably Greatest achievement. I don't actually remember where it is, but it's beating the Conquests of Alexander achievement on the highest difficulty while getting the highest rank. Now it's not necessarily the rarest achievement in the game, because a lot of the rarest achievements in the game are some of the ones that have to do with the scenarios that were just recently added, or ones that have specifically to do with DLC, such as these last few achievements that were added in the last iteration of the New Frontier Pass that have to do with the zombie defense mode. If you scroll all the way to the top, you can view global achievement stats. Only 82% of players have actually done anything basically in the game, but if you scroll down to the bottom, these achievements get really rare, until you get to the point where you get some achievements that fewer than 0.1% of players have earned. And it's not because they're difficult. Yes, some of them are difficult. Actually, these are kind of difficult achievements, except this one. But it's just they're so specific, and not enough people have access to the game modes to play them, that just not very many people have them. Now, the achievement I saved for last was one that I just thought was kind of fun. And that would be I thought we'd move past this joke achievement. As Chandragupta, launch a nuclear weapon. It's simple, but it's fun, and it's a reference to old Civ stuff with Gandhi nuking everyone under specific circumstances in the first Civ game, and it just becoming a running joke. So I thought that'd be fun just to set up a little game to earn the achievement rather quickly, and just have some fun. So I'll cut to the game once it's set up. So I essentially set up a game starting in the second to last era of the game, the Atomic Era, on a dual map on Pangea on Prince difficulty, just so this won't be a particularly long game. I set domination to the only valid victory type, so essentially I'm just going to win this game by conquering my opponent. If you start in a later era, it's definitely advisable to pick your government before you do anything. Because especially the main thing is so that you can get the bonus, from public works, or feudalism if you're starting in an earlier era than this, where you can get 2 extra charges on your builders. That just lets you do things a lot faster. And also, Diplomatic League is a good thing to have, although there's not very many city-states, so it's not really going to matter that much. I'd say, get this. Logistics is really good for starting the game, especially for moving your builders around. And what else? What the heck? In some ways, some of the other ones don't really matter as much which ones you get. It's just good to pick them as soon as you can, mostly for the extra build charges. Because you get the builders as soon as you found the city, especially in later eras where all of the cities that you start with settlers with get builders for free when you start them. Let's just do campus and industrial zone. A lot of this is kind of negligible, especially because of the low difficulty I'm playing on. Sure, triangular trade. But as you'll see, I guess I can choose a pantheon, because why not? Why not? There's culture stuff right next to me. When I found this city, I get a builder that has 5 charges on it. Now there's a lot of units that you can work with. You can combine a lot of them together. But that doesn't but you kind of don't want to do that just because having more units makes it easier to explore. Oh hey, it's Mount Vesuvius. And you just kind of want to explore as much as possible. Because you do still want to get those bonuses for meeting city-states first. Because that just gets you free envoys. Now luckily, you can build, the later you start in the game, the easier it is to build districts. So these are going to be pretty easy to build. Let's build an aqueduct here. And a dam here. And an industrial zone. Because why not? I mean, it's good to have production. And a government plaza. Sure, why not? And we're going to need combined arms because we are going to want nuclear weapons. And to help with that, we're going to get Pingala. Because once he's established, he'll give a bunch of extra science and culture, which we will need. So I decided to cut a lot of stuff out since that's just typical early game stuff, but we finally met our opponent, Spain, who is not going to be that difficult to defeat. Through my exploration, I've built 3 cities and found that I am on the west side of this continent, and that Spain is right over here. I've already become suzerain of 2 of the 3 city-states in this game though, so if I get enough money I can just levy the militaries to help me out with the cause of destroying France. But for the time being, I'm just working on building up my empire so I have enough science to actually research the techs I need, and so I have enough production to build the nuclear weapons I'm going to need. And just doing a little bit more exploring to try and find some tribal villages. He took Bandar Brunei. Oh wait, this is the city-state button. There we go. Putting in the first envoy count as 2 bonus really helps, because as soon as you meet a city-state, you can just give them a single extra envoy and you're immediately their suzerain. Because the first one that you send is the one that you get for meeting them, and that's doubled. Just completed combined arms, which is necessary to be able to see uranium, and let's have a look here around the map and see if we can find some uranium. And looks like there's some uranium down here, so I'm gonna have to build myself a settler to go down there. There's also some uranium over here. I don't think that Philip is going to be getting that anytime soon. Our next priority will be nuclear fission for the creation of the Manhattan Project, which is just on the way. For the time being, I've just been building up a lot of my infrastructure, getting very high production in my cities through massive adjacency bonuses on my industrial zones. And competing with Peter for the city-states. Not Peter, Philip. Why do I keep saying Peter? And just generally exploring to try to find more tribal villages. Here we have a spy that I'm just going to send into his territory. Maybe steal some money, or at least get some more intel on the whereabouts of the rest of his territory, although my scout's kind of doing that too. I can't get open borders with him because he's denounced me, because we have different governments, and apparently that's enough for civilizations to denounce you. I mean, in a way, considering real life context, that kind of makes sense, but it still seems petty in this game. It's like, oh, we have different governments. I denounce you. Not for all time, though, because they have a limited time span, but you get the picture. Containment is one of my favorite cards in the game. Just because of how powerful it is that you can just send twice as many envoys. And odds are you're going to have a different government from the AI, especially if you're behind or ahead of them, and they have a government tier that's either ahead of or behind you, then you're definitely going to have a different government. Now this is where all this production is going to come in handy, because my capital has over 100 signs per turn, so it's only going to take us 10 turns to build this Manhattan project. And once I do that, I can probably just like nuke these cities and just take them. But I'm going to start building my army. As you can see, I've already started building them up, and it's bigger than Peter's. If I really wanted to, I could probably declare war pretty soon. Looks like we've gotten the golden age going into the information era, and this is a really important World Congress resolution to have passed. Minus 50% production towards military units. This is going to make it really, really easy to build all of the army that I need, and also fabricate scandals so I can stop him from stealing my city-states. This line infantry originally was going to take 14 turns to build in the city, now it's going to take 5, and it's an army, so that's really powerful. I am going to choose... Ooh! Giant Death Robot. I'll take that. I won't say no to a Giant Death Robot. You know, hey Peter. I don't need to declare a surprise war. I can declare an ideological war. Now, this Giant Death Robot isn't actually going to be all that powerful, but it will be good just to have, and it'll be good backup for my army. Mount Vesuvius erupted. Alright, I have containment. Yeah, Lahore was the last city-state, which actually means I can do this. I can purchase Nihangs, although I have too many units in here. Let's do this. Let's move in to fight Barcelona. Yeah, before you get some of these upgrades, the Giant Death Robots are really not that great. I mean, they're still good just because they're super tanky units, but they don't do massive damage to cities like you would think they would. But that's because their techs, or their upgrades, are scattered throughout the tech tree. In the future era, they're kind of scrambled. Because the future era is always scrambled and you don't see what you get from each tech until you actually get the text before it and can actually see. Now what I can do here is I can use all this faith that I just started the game with to buy Nihangs, which are pretty powerful units, because they get stronger the more encampment buildings you have. So they have 87 combat strength base because you're getting plus 45 combat strength from my fully upgraded thing, whatever the encampment. And he keeps stealing Caguana. I want Caguana back, thank you, please, and thank you. And pillaging is also something that is a really good idea, just in general, to do. This guy isn't going to be a very good fighter. I'll send you over here instead, and have you build some railroads. Oh wow, this cavalry can actually attack the city. Let's just do computers. Why not? In a way, it doesn't really matter what techs I research now, because once I finish the Manhattan project, I can just build my nuke. And once I have a nuke, I can get the achievement, but I'm still going to finish this game, just because I don't want to make it look like I'm just getting the achievement, even though I kind of am. And I don't have enough trade route capacity for this guy. I built a battleship here because there was a submarine from the barbarians that was terrorizing my city, and you can't see submarines unless they directly attack you or you have a naval unit that's right next to them. Now, I think Barcelona is going to fall this turn. I still have plenty of time to get my nuke, though. Looks like I'm going to have to deal with this encampment. Encampments are so annoying to deal with. And it looks like Zaragoza is going to also be a lot harder to deal with because it has an AT crew encamped in it. So it has 100 combat strength, which is significantly stronger than Barcelona. Zaragoza? I don't know how that city's pronounced. I took Spanish for several years. I should know how this is pronounced. But for the time being, just kind of gotta chip away at this. At least the encampment isn't very strong. The encampment itself isn't very strong, at least. Guy can actually attack it with the knee hangs. That shows how powerful these knee hangs are sometimes.
The good thing about
2 more turns until the Manhattan Project. I think you need rocketry to get to more advanced nukes if you want to build more advanced nukes. Like thermonuclear weapons, that is. And because these cities are so close to my own, I don't really have to worry about loyalty. I can just take this. I suppose I am playing on Prince, so even though he was ahead of me in science for most of the game, he's not really, because the AIs aren't all that smart. They don't really have their priorities straight. See, I have twice as much military strength as him, so yeah, I think I'm gonna steamroll him, especially once I get nukes. Flood berries, because why not? They changed this in a recent update, where if your city center floods, you can't build city center districts anymore, or city center buildings. But the annoying part is, flood barriers are city center buildings. So if your city center gets flooded, you are completely screwed. Then there's nothing you can do about the rest of the flooding that your city is going to be experiencing. Let's pillage for some science and pillage for some faith. And let's just promote you. Because why not? Okay, yeah, this is what I'm used to seeing with cavalry attacking cities, is major defeat, where attacking a city directly with cavalry, especially light cavalry, is a terrible idea. Now you can fortify your unit and then pillage, so that you still get the fortification bonus. I don't think you get to heal, but you do get the I'm pretty sure you do get the fortification bonus. Patna, you are my capital. You build a nuclear device. I'm gonna want to build a missile silo. Okay, you get missile silos from rocketry. Good thing I researched that. I'm researching that then. Because you typically only heal a unit. Oh! This unit left the city for some reason. That makes him significantly weaker. That's nice. I can actually attack the city with this guy. Ooh, Spec Ops. Paradrop. Paradrop is fun, even though it's not always the most useful. It's pretty situational, I guess. Yeah, this giant death roll is quite helpful, and I like that Spec Ops actually get 2 range. It's like the more you upgrade your reconnaissance units, the more range they get over time. Because scouts don't have a ranged attack, but then the next level up do. I don't know what that sound was. I don't know if you could even hear that. There's a large clicking sound. Alright, I need you to come back. Actually, I'm going to take Zaragoza, so I'm going to build the missile silo in Zaragoza. Oh hey, he has an aerodrome. I'm going to steal that. Now you don't get experience from attacking a city if the city has 0 health. So these 2 units just kind of wasted their turn. Even though it did bring down the garrison strength, because the city was at 0 HP, it didn't really do anything. Now I can put a missile silo here, so that once I'm finished building this nuke in my capital, I can probably nuke Chandragupta's capital. I assume it's right over, not Chandragupta, I'm Chandragupta. I can nuke Philip's capital, and then I can just take it and I can win. And then I will, oh yeah, one of the other things is, because you build districts so quickly, that expands to the spaceport. So you can build a spaceport in 1 turn, because it only costs 1 production. Even though spaceports usually cost 1800 production, it costs basically as much as building a wonder, which is a lot. But if you start in a later era, it's just really, really easy to build yourself spaceport. I mean, the projects themselves don't really get easier. Okay, there's Madrid. This scout is probably gonna die, but at least I know where his capital is. Sure, you build a nuke too. You launch the Earth satellite, why not? I mean, the later you get into the game, the less each individual decision you make on any given turn actually matters. Oh yeah, this city is gonna be a slow burn unless I get a nuke, or if I get some siege units, but I don't really have siege units. Probably could get them. Oh wow, I'm burning a lot of coal. At least I have plenty in my reserves. War is a lot more interesting to talk about than just building random things for other types of victories. I mean, you can commentate over that, like if you're Potato McWhiskey or the Saxy Gamer and you're really good at talking about all the different things that you do in the game and actually making it interesting. They're really good YouTubers. I'm not nearly as skilled as them at making this kind of stuff seem interesting. But, I mean, I guess it's just the kind of thing that comes with practice, and I don't really play Civ and commentate it all that much, so I'm just doing this for fun. I mean, I hope y'all are enjoying this. No, I don't want peace. I want to win. See, I'm crushing his military now. Now, what giant death robots are always good at is destroying units. Because even though they're not as strong against cities, they are still strong against units, and I need to keep a unit in there so it doesn't rebel against me. And just repair, build an art museum, and build a seaport. I don't know, don't pillage roads. I basically never pillage roads because I like using roads. And oh, one more turn until nukes. I thought that my turn had not started yet. Sure, get me a helicopter. Can I? Oh yeah, I don't think I can build enemy territory. No wait, I can't. I just did build a railroad in enemy territory. It's just you can't build railroads in places you can't access, which is why I couldn't build the railroads sooner, because I couldn't get open borders with them. Alright, let's move you out of the way and move you out of the way. And let's nuke him. Fire! Come on, where's the achievement? Here it goes. Minus 200 health. Come on, where's the achievement? I think I've done this before, where I've actually tried to get this achievement, and it just doesn't show up. Like, it didn't show up at the bottom of the screen. Come on, where is it? I launched a nuclear weapon, and I'm playing as Chandragupta. Why is this not working? Hang on, I'll be right back. I need to look something up. So it seems that this achievement is bugged, and it has been for a while, and like since this achievement was released in the Rise and Fall update like a couple years ago, and people have known about it and what's wrong with the achievement, and yet it's never been fixed. So the achievement says launch a nuke. However, what it actually means is drop a nuke, which requires a bomber, which I don't have enough money to get. Have I not even unlocked them? Oh no, I need advanced flight for this. Let's build some biplanes. Oh wait, I need oil for that. Where was I getting oil? I think I was getting. No way, I'm using all of my oil that I'm getting. Sure. So I went back to the turn before I nuked Madrid. So I'm just gonna kind of keep sieging this city for the time being until I can get a bomber, so that I can actually use my nuke and actually get the achievement. Because that is why I've done this entire thing, basically. And I'm suzerain of all 3 city-states. I like having that. What do you do? Sure. Let's do that in my capital, because why not? Hey, let's see what's on the other side of here. I should probably pillage some campuses. Oh yeah, there's a campus right here I've been pillaging. It's not yet fully pillaged. No, I'm not going to give you peace. You want to pillage campuses and industrial zones, because those two give you science. So it takes 5 turns for me to research this. Now it only takes 4. And now it only takes 3. Pillaging, especially, I guess I should plug in change policies. Where's total war? All of these are really good to have plugged in when you are fighting someone. And they have a lot of either districts or improvements that you can pillage. And especially if you're playing as Norway, because Norway gets extra bonuses from certain pillaging. Like I think you get science in addition to the gold you get from mines, or it's something like that, something along those lines. And anyway, it's a really good card to plug in if you're doing a lot of pillaging, because it just straight up gives you more raw science from pillaging this stuff. See, this says it's going to take 2 turns, but nope, I'm going to get this tech now. Do I have enough money to buy a bomber? Of course I don't. However, my capital is making 125 production per turn, and I need aluminum. Oh wait, I need an aerodrome. Oh right, I couldn't build an aerodrome in here. I have aluminum. I built because I got aluminum from this city, because this city has a ton of aluminum. Or at least relatively a ton of aluminum. And this city doesn't even have an aerodrome. Where do I have an aerodrome? I know I have an aerodrome somewhere, right? Right? I'm not crazy, right? How many turns would this even take? 4. Okay. Oh, at least this city has enough population to build another district. Okay. This isn't going exactly as planned, but since when does anything ever go exactly as planned? I mean, some of the fun in this game is adapting to the different situations you have. And just being able... How did my battleship just phase through the ocean here? Oh, it's coast because of global warming. Yeah, global warming's real, guys. It lets ships pass through land. Here's the rest of our oil, although I don't know if I'll really need it. I guess it's always just good to have more oil. More oil! Go for United States on this, even though we're not playing as the United States, but you get the joke. Gold, and this is done being pillaged, and you need to build a bomber, in 3 turns. That's nice. You know what? Shift enter. I'm about to win this game anyway. Most of what I'm doing here doesn't matter at all. Shift enter. Until I get a bomber.
People without them.
Shift enter. If you're wondering what shift enter means, it's just if you hit shift and enter at the same time, you end your turn and just skip every action that you are normally required to do before you can end your turn. Alright, WMD nuclear strike. Ooh, it's just barely in range. Let's go. I thought we'd move past this joke. Yeah, there we go. That is the final achievement in Civilization VI. I might someday go through and just make a guide, or like a general video going over all the different stuff you have to do to get the different achievements. Maybe.
Though its face may change.
It depends on if I have time, because I've been really busy, because I'm still working on that ROM hack for the Oats and Goats hacking contest, if you've been keeping up with the channel and all the videos I've been making on it. I got the ranking of Nero. Yeah, you don't really get that high of a ranking, especially if you start in the later era and you're on the small map, because you don't get your points from like religion or building a whole ton of wonders, because a lot of the wonders are obsoleted if you start later in the game, and if there's less space, you have less space to expand and less population, fewer districts, etc. So it's not that surprising that I got a really low score, especially since I only conquered 1 civilization. I mean, at least I didn't get Dan Quayle, because nobody wants to be Dan Quayle. But let's see if I check this. Yep, view all achievements. Achievements 100%. I've earned every achievement in Civilization VI. That was fun. I made this a goal that I wanted to do in the summer of 2020, although that was a bit overly ambitious, and then I decided, I should probably hold off on this a little bit until the entire New Frontier passes come out, just so all of the achievements that will be in the game will be available, so that I can actually say I've gotten all the achievements once all of them have even been released. But I'm glad I actually, met this goal at some point, even though it was over a year late. But it's a fun experience. Some of the achievements are tedious, but some of them are actually pretty fun because they make you think of new ways to play the game. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, leave a like, and if you didn't like it, then leave a dislike. This has been Metroid Nerd number 9001, and I will see you next time.